Welcome to the Addicted to DVC Podcast, a deep dive into all things Disney Vacation Club. We share tips, tricks, and insider info, helping you make the most of your membership. Join us for the latest news, reviews, and interviews with DVC experts and enthusiasts. Whether you're a seasoned DVC member or considering your first contract, this podcast is for you. Now, here are your hosts, Mike Hurley and Gary Arruda.
Welcome to the Addicted to DVC Podcast with Mike and Gary. This is episode 3, recorded in the D. Fauntleroy Recording Studios in Sarasota, Florida, and Cranston, Rhode Island. I'm your host, Mike in Florida, joined by my co-host and cousin, Gary, up in Rhode Island. Good morning, Gary, or good evening, Gary.
It could be morning, depends on when you're listening, right?
That
Morning,
is true.
evening.
That is true.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good.
That's good. Anything new in your neck of the woods?
Not really, no.
Is that your Riviera Resort hat?
That's my brand new Riviera Resort hat. Yes, sir.
I was there. I think I kind of pushed you towards buying that.
Yeah, you did. I didn't need it. I've already got a Riviera hat, but this is my second one. Got
I mean,
my Berglund suitcase shirt on for those of you watching us on YouTube.
I certainly didn't talk you out of the purchase. Put it that
You
way.
didn't.
No.
You didn't. I was reconciling quick, and I'm like, God, I bought another freaking dopey hat. At least it wasn't a mug.
Wasn't a mug, and you had your 20% discount, and you used your discounted Disney gift card to pay for it. So you got a good little chunk off of that thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you're gonna spend the money, you might as well spend as little as possible.
Save a little bit, right? I mean, it's no different when a girl says how this was on sale.
Girl math, yeah, they call that girl math. Price.
Is that what they call it? I've never heard that. That's good.
You've never heard about girl math? It's like,
God.
It's on sale, so it's basically free. You got to buy it.
You know, whenever something's 80% off, you're like, how much margin do they actually have?
Yeah,
added on to this crap.
Or how long has this thing been sitting around? Or
right,
just eating into their inventory. Yeah, that is very true. I always wonder.
Girl math, I like that.
Yeah. So should we just get into it? We got a lot to talk
about. Where we left off last week, you were transferring over to Beach Club.
Yeah. So,
right?
Yep, we did 4 nights at Boulder Ridge in a studio. And then we moved over on Sunday morning to Beach Club for 5 nights. We checked out of Boulder Ridge, brought all our luggage down, and I actually did a minivan instead of calling like a Lyft or having Disney transport it, because when Disney does it, you don't know when you'll see your luggage. I think it's like 4 or 5 o'clock, I think, is when they promise it over there.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Caio Paolo used to do that for a living. Did you know that?
Oh, he was a Bell Services guy?
Yeah, he was just a bag transport guy.
Oh, that's separate. They're not all lumped in together. That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's not a bad gig.
No, that's not a bad gig because you probably just left alone.
Right, that's what I mean.
Probably just going picking up all the bags at a certain part, bringing it to like some depot, and then saying, okay, these 20 are going to All Stars, these 30 are going over to Contemporary.
How many, there's a lot of hotel rooms on property.
I think there's a lot. You always hear about these rubes talking about how much they love split stays.
Yeah, but those are people like us.
I would never want to do a split stay.
No, you don't, but I'm saying like people that listen to this podcast and podcasts like this are the split stay, but a first-time visitor, they don't want to deal with that.
I don't think a first time was going to do that, but you might have the people who say, you want to do a moderate for a week, or you want to do 4 at a deluxe and 3 at a value.
Yeah, I just wonder what percentage.
The value.
It's got to be under 10% of the people do a split stay while they're there.
Yeah, I'd say that's fair.
I'm just curious. I just wonder. It's curious anyway.
Be interesting to see if we could get those numbers, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I'd love that. We so we called the minivan, which was great. We fit everything in the back. Got brought over to Beach Club. The driver was from Fall River, Massachusetts, so we had a lot to talk about.
Did you actually talk to each other? Both miserable farts?
Yes. Yeah, she was very nice. She was asking us where our favorite hotels were to stay at and where we've stayed before, and she did a nice job. She was good.
So they're more engaging than the guys that we had during the first gentleman's trip.
Yes, a little bit more. A little bit more. But it was like, I think it was like $43, which is a lot more than a Uber or Lyft would be,
Yeah.
probably by triple. But just knowing you're going to get the right size vehicle that you asked for.
So you did see value?
In that, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't use it to go to, like, if I was staying at Animal Kingdom Lodge and we had a dinner at Ohana, I don't think I'd use a minivan for that. I'd probably use a regular Lyft because we're not bringing a bunch of stuff with us. But when you're doing the transporting your junk, I think it was worth the extra. And I'm glad we did it because when we got to Beach Club around 11:30 or so, we checked in and we had our stuff. We were able to, go through it and get
So
stuff.
for $40, was it worth having your bags right there for you to bring to
I think
your
so.
already hotel room?
Yeah, I think so. And
I think so.
our room was ready early.
Yeah.
I think it was ready by like 1:00. We went to get lunch in EPCOT that day. So we hadn't even been into EPCOT. 4 days at Disney.
That's hard
4
for you
nights.
because that's your favorite park.
Yeah, but I knew it was gonna be very EPCOT heavy those last 5 days, which it was. So I was able to kind of push it off. But we finally got into EPCOT. I was like, okay, now it's time to relax. And we went over and we had quick service lunch in Mexico, which was fantastic. You can hear a little bit about that dining plan great use of a dining plan quick serve credit there at the quick serve in Mexico. I had those barbacoa beef tacos that you were talking about. They're very
So good.
Very good.
They're so good. And you know what? I was bringing up barbacoa on the golf course yesterday.
Yeah.
I was talking about Richard Barbacoa Taco Vital.
Yeah, right.
And Kurt didn't know what barbacoa was.
Oh, really?
And neither did the captain. I'm like, how have you guys never heard of barbacoa?
That's interesting.
Isn't it?
Yes, when idiots like us know about it, you'd think other people would.
Exactly.
So we had the quick serve, and then actually as we were eating, we got the text that our room was ready. I think it was 12:30 or so. So we finished up in EPCOT. We did lunch. We went on the Three Caballeros ride in Mexico, hung out in there for a little bit. We grabbed some snacks at the Germany Caramel Kuche,
which we talked about on a previous podcast.
Yep, we grabbed some snacks there, and then we headed over back to the room to check out our digs. So then we had our stuff, and because it was at Bell Services, I didn't go and like drag it up myself. I called for it to get sent up, and gave the guy. I gave him $10. Is that good?
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
For like, there was like 5 big suitcases, and then like all the other stuff. But
that's a good tip.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was looking at some of these like stupid Facebook groups that I'm part of, and I see these like back and forths, and someone was like, "I'm from Europe. I just want to know how much to tip."
Yeah. Well, first of all, you're from Europe. You're not asking how much to tip.
Well, that was what they said.
Yeah,
that's what
please.
they said, and they said, "I just
Yeah.
want to know how much cash to bring and what I should tip for like the luggage." And people were saying like $5 to $10 per bag. You should
Yeah.
tip.
See, these are non-tippers. These are just schmucks.
You think they're just stirring the pot?
Yes, they're just schmucks.
'Cause I'm like, I'm not giving this guy $70 to bring my stuff in. I mean, it's
I'll
a
throw.
service.
We'll have a couple bags, and I'll give the guy a nickel, and he's happy. I don't think these guys make decent tips.
All right, I was gonna say I felt like
$10
$10 was good, but
fine
then,
tip.
yeah, I thought $10 was good. I just wanted to confirm with you. One guy took my bags,
Yeah.
and he like ran away. I couldn't even get my wallet out. And he went on break. Like I saw, he like went around the corner, and I saw him like with his lunch, and he was going in the back room. I'm like, all right, well, sorry, bud. I even waited out there for like 20 minutes for him to come back out. That was when we were leaving, so he didn't get a tip, unfortunately. I was going to give him one too.
Yeah, they don't. A lot of them don't hover like Cha and I did at the golf course.
They don't expect it. Yeah, I guess that's probably true.
We're vouchers. I mean, there was a dead squirrel, and Cha and I were just flying around waiting to get a bite.
So we ended up going back to the room. and the girls wanted to check out the pool because that was, one of the big selling points for Beach
Of
Club
course.
was the pool. So we did the pool for a little while, and then we had a dinner reservation at Garden Grill that night,
All right,
which
let's go ahead.
was
Sorry.
fantastic.
Yeah, let's get into it. Again, this is one of the few that I've never been to. It's kind of like a blah, ho-hum. It's got great theming. It's in a great attraction, but the food is just average. So take us through this.
I think the food is above average. It's not super adventurous. It's not a ton of options, but if you like Liberty Tree,
I was
you're
just
gonna
going to
love
say
it.
that.
So the dessert's not actually, the dessert was bad. It was like an apple cobbler. It was bad.
Which is fine because I could care less about dessert.
I
But
kind of felt the same way, but they bring you out a salad, which is fantastic, a really good salad with like a house dressing. So we had the salad. We
there's
ended up
no
getting
stuff that doesn't go with stuff. Is there like apple and
no,
cranberries or any of that
no, it was just
nonsense?
regular lettuce, olives, tomatoes, onions. So we had the salad, which was very good with their house dressing. They brought out this cornbread, which was phenomenal. These little, like, it was
Cedric
like
Maxwell,
warm.
nice.
I like cornbread. Everyone liked that.
Good whipped butter.
Yes, butter,
Yep.
perfect. So those two things were very good to start, and then they bring out the platter, which has smoked turkey,
Yep.
like carved smoked turkey, strip steak with chimichurri sauce.
Now you're talking parts.
It was so good. It was cooked very, very not. I'm saying well, like it was cooked perfectly. It was a medium, which is what you're gonna get at like a family style. Is a
Yeah,
good
you got to
medium.
keep it kind of in between, right?
It was fantastic. I think I ate the whole thing because no one else wanted steak. I ate like the whole
And how
platter.
was the chimichurri? Was it pretty good?
Yeah, I liked it. I thought it was very good. String beans, which for me were perfect. They were just like buttered, a little bit of garlic, but they were perfect al dente. They weren't mushy, but they weren't like too crispy. Just right. And then they had grilled seasonal vegetables, which was like squash, zucchini, red onions. They had mashed potatoes, which everyone liked, and some mac and cheese. So everyone was
How was
happy.
the mac and cheese? Was it your
I didn't even have any, but Yergina Jr. polished off the whole platter of it. Like
really?
she liked it a lot. She said
All
it was
right.
very good. Yeah, I was saving room for the steak. The vegetables were good though, and I'm not a bit like I like vegetables, but I usually don't, go on about how good the vegetables were fantastic. I was really impressed. Character interactions were great. We saw everybody twice came around. We had Mickey, Pluto, Chip, and Dale. They talked to the girls for a while and hung out and, talked, quote unquote, talked. But it was good. A great experience. Everyone really liked it. And actually, at this time, right when we were getting in there, so we went in, we had a little time, so we watched the movie in there that used to be, I forget what it was called before. Now it's a little bit more upbeat. It used to be like the You're Killing
Oh,
the
it was
Earth movie.
dark. Yeah, it was dark.
Now it's a little bit nicer with a similar message. So we watched that. That was fine. Then we went over to our reservation. As we were getting in, you could see like outside the skies were opening up and a huge, huge thunderstorm rolled through.
It's your classic mid-afternoon Orlando thunderstorm.
But it lasted like
Oh yeah.
2
Yeah,
hours.
sometimes they'll last for hours.
So the whole time we were eating, you could hear it. We did right after we finished, we went on Living with the Land. And we're going through the greenhouse and it's still pouring. You could see like thunder and lightning, which was really cool on Living with the Land. Like
Yeah,
in a
that would be a
thunderstorm.
cool experience.
I would
Yep.
recommend that. And everyone left Epcot. It was empty. So by the time we got done with Living with the Land, I went to look at Soarin' and it was a 0-minute wait.
Did it literally say 0?
0 minutes. Yeah. I walked on to Soarin', and then I had a virtual queue for Guardians of the Galaxy. And there was nobody. Like the room, like the pre-show room wasn't even full. You just walked the whole way, got in there, they did the pre-show, and they were waiting at the bottom of the roller coasters for people to get there to load the things.
That's crazy.
So that was a walk-on. It still takes whatever 10 or 15 minutes to get from the beginning of the line through. And then they went over when I did that. They were in Nemo and hanging out at the aquarium. And then we saw, like, on the radar, another big blip of rain was coming. So we just got out of there at that point because everything was a walk-on. We could have probably done Ratatouille and Frozen as walk-ons at that point, but I didn't want to get caught in the rain. So we went back to the room and actually sat out on the balcony and watched some of the fireworks from Harmonious or whatever it's called now.
So where was your room facing?
Kind of the walkway as you go. So the DVC building has like that wing that goes off towards EPCOT. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So like halfway down the hallway, you take a right. So I was in that wing. So we had like just a grassy area outside and there were some trees. And then like sometimes over the trees, you could see some fireworks. You couldn't see all of them, but you could see some of the higher ones. So we just kind of watched it from there that night.
You said you're on level 2
Yeah,
again over there too?
Yep. The balcony was very nice there, a lot bigger than at Boulder Ridge. I liked the room better at Beach Club.
Yeah.
The bathroom situation was a little nicer.
Yeah, they're great rooms over at Beach Club.
It seemed a little bigger. I don't know if it's just my imagination, but it seemed a little bigger, or the layout was just more conducive, so it seemed like we had more common space. I liked the rooms there better than Boulder Ridge. I liked the hotel at Boulder Ridge and Wilderness Lodge better. So I guess we can get into that. Maybe that can be another episode comparing the two. A little more in depth. So we had an early breakfast reservation the next morning again at EPCOT. We had Akershus at 8:30. So we kind of called it a night early after Garden Grill. And we got up early, got into EPCOT for early entry, which is at 8:30. They were letting us through at like 8 o'clock, and then they held us
that was
right in front of Canada.
Yeah.
Because that's the way we were going to Norway. If we were going to do Remy, we would have gone like over towards France, obviously, but we went towards Canada. And then right at 8:30, they let us over, and we went to our breakfast reservation at Akershus, which was fine. The girls liked it a lot because of the princesses. It was another family style. It's not buffet. They brought out scrambled eggs, which were good. They also had a bunch of pastries that you get at the beginning.
Okay.
They were fine. And they bring you a charcuterie board, like a breakfast. It had like salami and like smoked salmon.
How was the smoked salmon?
It was good. With the it had like crackers, like big, like not a big, like I don't even know how to describe it, like a big cracker. So you could put like the cream cheese and the salmon on the cracker. So I had that. That was good. Some fruits and stuff. But the platter had waffles, but not like Mickey waffles. They're these like Norwegian waffles. They're a little bit thinner. They were good. They were like sweeter too. They had like a different kind of sugar in them. They had sausage.
And do they come with, you do the standard butter and syrup, or?
Yeah, you can. And they bring lingonberry stuff with it too, which is like a jam kind of. And then they had like a cheesy potato casserole, which was very good, like as the hash browns. Doing the dining plan for that, I would say, is worth it. Paying cash, if I paid $60 out of pocket for that, I don't think it's worth it. For breakfast, but it was fine. The girls liked it. We had a good time that morning. And we were going to try to I was going to try to run over and get in the Frozen ride before we went to breakfast. But by the time we got there, the line was already like crazy because the people coming in from the main entrance get to that quicker than the people coming from the other. So it was already a long ride for Frozen, so we skipped that.
That ride isn't anything that great anyway.
No, but Yergina likes it. It's one of her favorites, so we want to
we do it whenever we have a chance. Like if it's a half hour or under, we'll knock it out, but
it's not high on my list. So we did that. We hung around EPCOT a little bit that morning, and then we didn't really do much else that day. I know we got just did Epcot, hung around, went back to the room. Might have done the pool again. I don't know. A lot of those days kind of blended together. But that was the advantage of us being so close to Epcot, is that we could just kind of like go in and out.
Yeah, it's great.
As we pleased.
It's great.
Actually, that's the day you guys got there. So that's what we did. We were hanging out a little bit.
I think you guys were at the room when we got there, and we were going to go grab lunch over at Boardwalk Deli, and you guys met us over there when we were finishing up.
Yeah, that's right. And then we went and checked out your room, and then we went into Epcot for just a little bit and did a couple things. And then we had we did the kitchen sink at Beaches and Cream at like 8:50. We had a reservation for that, so we did that. And then it started raining. That's right. We were gonna go to the pool, but then it was like thunder, and the pool was closed when we went back, I think, at some point. Anyway, we did the kitchen sink, and it started raining again. They had the extra magic hours at Epcot that night, but we ended up staying, and it was a long day for us, so we didn't go back out. I know you ended up doing that
Yeah,
day.
we ended up going, and we hung out at Abracadabra for a little while, and then went in.
Yeah. The next day,
tell me about the kitchen sink.
It was good.
What was the price on that?
$38. It's not bad, and I got 10% off for using my Disney Visa card. They gave me 10% off.
Oh, okay.
And it was a lot of food, a lot of ice cream, every topping. It's an experience. It's cool. They put the lights on, the siren goes off, they bring it out. I wouldn't do it every trip, but it was fun. The next day, you guys met us over at Stormalong Bay, which we'll get some hate mail for probably, but you guys came over. You guys were legit. You had wristbands, so I don't know. There was no problem.
You're allowed to bring visitors in, as far as as far as I know. It's not like we came in off the streets.
That's true. But we spent most of the day at the pool. We were there for a while because we were there a while before you met us there. Because you ended up going to Hollywood Studios that morning.
Yeah, we rope drop Hollywood Studios.
And we rope dropped the pool. We slept in and went to the pool. I think we actually did rope drop because their pool doesn't open till like 10 or 11. I think we got there at like 10:30 or something like that.
Look at yours truly rope dropping. Do you ever think you'd see a day when I rope dropped?
No, but when you're that close, it's worth it though, isn't it?
Why
not? And then, so we did the pool for a while. And then that's when we went over to Hollywood Studios at night, and we had our Rodeo Roundup barbecue.
Yes, we did.
Which I think, for me, exceeded my expectations. I was expecting it to be just average, like dried out, like barbecue junk, where it's like, you're in this place, you're there for the theming. They're just going to give you any old crap that rolls out of the kitchen. But I was actually impressed with a few of the things. The biscuits were really good that they brought out. I like the salmon. They were saying like that's an optional entree you could get.
Yeah, you said that was probably the best thing you had.
I thought it was very good. The sausages were good. I know you liked the sausage as well.
I did.
I liked that. There was nothing really bad. The only thing I didn't like was the corn on the cob. I thought that was pretty bad.
Yeah, I didn't try it, but everybody said it was nasty.
It wasn't that good, but all the other sides were good. I don't know, what were you as impressed with that place as I was?
Yeah, it was. I agree. It was better than what I had expected.
So yeah, that worked out. That worked out good. The girls enjoyed it. We did some vlogging from there.
Server was excellent too.
The server was very good. And then after dinner, we had some time to go around and do a couple rides. Oh, the baked beans. I forgot about those. The baked beans were good. That was one of the sides. And they had the watermelon salad, which you were singing about quite a bit.
Yeah, watermelon.
But the thing you liked the best, I think, which we almost forgot, they had the tomato and cucumber salad.
That was the best.
That was so good, wasn't it?
That was the best.
That was really
Watermelon,
good.
cucumber, it was tomato, cucumber, and onion.
An onion, yeah, with the really good dressing.
With just the right amount of onion. It was great. Watermelon sugar high. Do.
We did Toy Story Midway Mania after that.
Yep.
And then we ended up doing Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. And
You did?
And we were going to try to get into Fantasmic last minute. So we got on the ride right as the park was closing, and Fantasmic starts at 9. And we got over there at like 9:02, right as we were basically at the entrance of Fantasmic. They made the announcement that it was full and they were not letting any more people.
I was shocked because Chris and I got there. I'd say 20 minutes before the show started, and it was packed.
Jam-packed, yeah. But I hadn't been to Fantasmic in a long time.
Pre-COVID, it's been for us. I mean,
yeah,
they basically just brought it back anyways, but
I mean, it was closed, yeah, for a while. How was it? Did you?
It was good.
It's good, yeah.
I forgot how good that show is.
I know, that's the thing, and I'm kind of bummed we missed it, but
yeah, it was
coming back for another time. And then we ended up just going back. We took the Skyliner back to the room after that because the park was closed. And then we had another early morning the next day over at Topolino's for breakfast, which was a great way to start the day.
Oh,
you like that, don't you, Pards?
Oh, I do. I really do.
That was good. So we met you over at the Boardwalk lobby, and we drove over because that was our reservation was so early. The Skyliner wasn't even running.
Skyliner was still closed, yeah.
So we got over there. Riviera is gorgeous. I've never been in the front entrance there. That was nice walking up like.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's true because you just gotten off the Skyliner and gone in that back way.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's a beautiful entrance.
So we went all the way up, took the elevator up, and had our breakfast. We were one of the first 2 tables to be seated.
Mm-hmm.
And had great interactions with the characters. We did the weasel move and ordered the another entree as a side.
Well, we asked,
nicely.
And I've heard that they will give you the waffles.
Yeah.
That waffle was good, wasn't it?
It was very good. So we both ordered the steak and eggs, and then we asked for the sour cream waffle on the side, which I'm glad we did because it was very good.
It was delicious.
But the steak and eggs there were phenomenal.
That's it. That steak, you don't get a steak like that with a breakfast steak and eggs, do you?
No, very rarely. Very rarely.
It's so good. Those potatoes are good. Now, what about the pastries that they bring out too?
Pastries are good. So the one thing, we were there so early, the croissants weren't even made yet. And then I asked about them, and she brought them out later, and that was the best pastry they had by far. The muffin was okay for me.
I like the muffin. I like the chocolate chip muffin with the Nutella.
It was fine. I didn't care that much about it, but the croissant was excellent.
Yeah.
What was the other one? There was a strawberry.
Yeah, because they brought a strawberry sauce too. The muffins are great.
Yeah. The pastries
like
are good.
Those mushrooms that came with the steak and eggs, phenomenal.
Eggs were perfect.
Coffee's good. They'll bring you a big coffee pot. They brought 2 out, I think, for us.
Yeah, we have Bloody Marys.
We had Bloody Marys. Yeah.
No, it was good. It was a very.
Now, would you say it's the best character breakfast on property?
It's so hard. It's way different because it's not a buffet. I think all the other character breakfasts are buffets, so it changes the vibe a lot.
Could be.
I mean, Akershus isn't a buffet. That's family style, so it was better than that. We really like Tusker House, but Topolino's, the food was better at Topolino, so I'll say yes. It was the best one I've been to.
Was it worth it, price-wise?
Yeah, being on the dining plan for sure.
If you weren't on the dining plan, though.
What is it, $55 or something?
Yeah, it's 60? Like $60. Now those are never worth it. They're never worth it for kids. But I'm saying if we're going on the golfing trip and we got 4 guys, you're doing that over Whispering Canyon, right?
No, probably not. For the price difference, it's double the price.
It's so much better. It's not double the price of Whispering Canyon. Whispering Canyon isn't.
those platters are only like $23, I think.
Is it? Yeah. And how good was it the last time we were there? You were so disappointed.
It wasn't that great, but I'd rather go to Boma, which is my
No.
go-to. Like with the gentleman's trip for the price difference, I'm saying I'd go to Boma breakfast over Topolino's just for value-wise.
No.
Well, I
No.
disagree with you.
I
Well, you asked me a question. You asked what my answer is.
Yeah,
I give
and
you
you're
my
wrong.
answer, and you
Oh,
tell
yep,
me no.
yeah, and your answer was wrong, so we'll
I-
continue moving on.
I don't think it's wrong. I think it's correct.
No, it's wrong. So anyways,
So after that, you guys were checking out that day, so you didn't want to. You wanted to spend some more time at the resort.
correct.
We went back over directly from Riviera to Animal Kingdom. We grabbed the bus. We hung out at Animal Kingdom. We just did the animal trails, the Gorilla Falls, and the Maharaja Jungle Trek. We went to conservation thing, Rafiki's Planet Watch. Did another drawing class. The girls were doing the Wilderness Explorer thing, where you go around and like collect the badges from all the people around the park. They like doing that. We didn't go on a single ride. We just had some snacks. We walked around, looked at the animals, and we got out of there. We were there for probably 4 hours, maybe 10 to 2. We got back after that, and we just chilled a little bit, and we ended up for dinner. We didn't really know what we wanted to do for dinner, so we decided to go back to Riviera, and we had a quick service to use, and we went to Primo Piatto for a quick serve dinner, and that was pretty good. I got the pasta bolognese,
Yep.
which wasn't bad. Sarah got a flatbread, which she liked, and the girls liked theirs. I think Yergina got some shrimp, and Yergina Jr. got a flatbread as well. But then from there, we went over to Magic Kingdom because they had the evening hours at Magic Kingdom that night, and
What are the evening hours?
like the Epcot one where you could stay for 2 hours more.
The the extended hours.
Yeah, so it was open till midnight that night. So we ended up going over after dinner to Magic Kingdom, and we got a lot done over there. It was actually that was the first day Country Bear Jamboree reopened, so we got to do that, which I enjoyed it. It's all like Disney songs now, so it's a little cheesier, but you know what? There's still all the animatronics are good. It's a fun show. It's like 7 minutes, perfect length. It's not too long. You're not going to lose the attention of anybody. Get you in and out. So I'm fine with it. If it was between that and losing it altogether, I'll take that to keep the Country Bears around. You know what I mean?
Sure.
We did a bunch though. We did Carousel of Progress. We did the regular carousel with the girls. We did the teacups. Did Pirates of the Caribbean. We did Winnie the Pooh, Little Mermaid, a bunch of Small World, Fantasyland rides and stuff. Just got them all banged out.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't stay till midnight. We ended up leaving around 11:30. So it was a long day up at 7:30.
Yeah, that is a long day considering what time our dining reservation was.
Yeah. So the next day we were not. We didn't have anything really planned besides our dinner reservation. So we slept in, and Yergina wanted to go to Disney Springs, and I wasn't planning on going at all during the trip, but she kept asking. So I was like, you know what? We'll go first thing. We'll go right when it opens, when it's nice and quiet and slow. But Yergina Jr. didn't want to go. So we did divide and conquer. She went to the pool with Sarah. I took Yergina to Disney Springs. And we got there right when it opened. And it was nice. She wanted to do some shopping in like the big Disney store, and we went to the Christmas shop and a few of the other stores. And then she and I we got lunch together at the Polite Pig using a quick serve, which was fantastic.
Was it?
It had maybe the best thing I ate the whole vacation, which was the Brussels sprouts side. Whiskey caramel Brussels sprouts. They were so good.
Did it have warning labels on there for Peter Warner?
I don't know. I mean, if it has whiskey in the name of it, I think you can kind of figure it out, right?
Well, you would hope so.
um, it was so good, parts. And then I got like the ribs as well. It was like a $26 entree on the quick serve, and then I got a cocktail with it, like a $13 cocktail. So that's an expensive quick serve credit for sure. And then my daughter got the turkey platter, the kids' smoked turkey platter, which she loved. She said it was so good, and then some fries with it. They have a ton of different barbecue sauces and hot sauces, like all on tap, so you can like fill up the little dipping cups for it. They give you real utensils. They have people coming around. I must have had, from the time we sat down to the time we left, I must have had like 4 or 5 different employees there come up and ask if we needed anything. You need any more
Really?
napkins? You want me to refill your water? I'm like, this is a quick service, and they're coming around and like being super attentive. I was very impressed with it. It was good. So we had that. We ended up walking over to that new restaurant, Summer House.
Yeah, opened like over the past few months ago, right?
Yeah, I think it was over the winter it opened,
Oh, it's been that long.
and they have a bunch of cookies. I heard their cookies are pretty good, so we got some of the cookies to bring back home. They were okay. I didn't love them, but you don't have to wait in like a 7-hour line like Gideon's. You just walked up and
Yeah.
bought them. So we did that, and then we got back to the hotel, unloaded our stuff. The girls were still at the pool, so we went and got them, and we headed back into EPCOT again, because this was our last night, so we were leaving the next day. So we went back into EPCOT, walked around World Showcase, because we really hadn't done that too much, and we really explored. We did the American Adventure. We got in line for Ratatouille, and as soon we were in line for like 20 minutes, and then they said the ride was shut down. So they said, you can stay in line, but we don't know when it's going to be open. So we left, ended up doing other stuff. We went on Figment. We went on the Seas with Nemo and Friends again. We did Spaceship Earth. Just kind of overall just chilling around EPCOT, which ended up being a really nice afternoon. And then we had dinner at Trattoria al Forno at like 7:30 that night. So we had dinner there. It was pretty good. I got steak, and it was okay. It wasn't as good as the steak at Steakhouse 71. It was a little tougher.
Okay.
It was fine. We got some appetizers, paid out of pocket for a charcuterie board and some calamari. Those are both really good. Sarah got the truffle gnocchi. Our friend Angry Newfield Jr. recommended that. He said it's his son's favorite food at Disney is the truffle gnocchi. So she got that, and she loved it. It was very good. The girls got meatballs with pasta as the kids' meal. Some dessert.
Glad you gave him a shout out for crying out loud. It only took 3 episodes. Jeez.
I know. We need to give him a shout out. And happy birthday to our friend Joe Quat as well. They guess we're getting paid to do these promotions for these guys now.
Yeah.
You think people would lift up your friends instead of trying to drag us down?
Yeah, you get a message. Oh, I listened to your first episode. No shout outs. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. Was paid advertisers? Like, did I missing something here?
Yeah, so we had that. It was fine. It was a decent meal. It wasn't my favorite, but it wasn't bad. I would go back again if I was staying in that area, but I wouldn't make a special trip.
Did they have the swordfish, or did you not even look?
They didn't have swordfish on the menu.
That's what I had. It was so good the night that we had it.
So after that, we had planned on doing the pool until it closed that night, which is 11 o'clock, and we did. So we got back after paying for dinner, went back, got our swimsuits on, and we went to the pool, and we hung out at the pool all night until it closed. And that was great, because the closer you get to the end of the day, there's nobody, and we had to think.
Yeah, it is. It's the best time to go. It's great.
It was awesome. So we did that, and then we were packing up to go. We had to leave the next morning on my birthday, and we checked out around 11. went into EPCOT, and we rode a few rides. We had lunch at Chef de France, which was really good. Nice thing with the dining plan, you can get that prefix, so you actually get an appetizer, entree, dessert, and drink for a dining credit. So that was good. It was a very good lunch. It was maybe not the best lunch for travel day because I didn't want to be like super full with, a lot of stuff. It was very filling and rich, but it was still good. We just went around Epcot. We watched a couple of shows. We did the Canada show. We did the Beauty and the Beast sing-along, which was unfortunately the only one going that day. Like I said, we did American Adventure the day before, rode a couple rides, explored World Showcase. We did Spaceship Earth. And actually, my youngest daughter, she went to the bathroom and she left her backpack in there by accident, like her new Disney backpack that she bought, her Loungefly. And she was all upset. So she's crying. We run back over to the bathroom. It's not in there anymore. One of the employees, one of the cast members who cleans the bathroom said, if you go to guest relations, if someone turned it in, it'll be there. So I'm like, all right, we got to go all the way to the front of the park. Let's do it. We go all the way up there to guest relations, get up there, talking to the guy at the counter. He said, oh, describe it. I told him all about it. He went back. He's in the back. 2 minutes go by. 5 minutes go by. I'm like, it's not coming back. It's like, we'll get you another one. Don't worry about it, blah, 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 doing the whole thing. He comes out. He's like, is this it? And he's holding it up. So someone turned it in. It was probably within 20 minutes of her losing it, was already back at the front of the park.
That's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. Absolutely crazy. So they had that. So being an ultra weasel, do you want to hear my weasel move I did after this, Pards?
Yeah, what could you possibly do weaselly after your kid lost her backpack?
So she's getting settled down. She's still like a little upset, just kind of regaining her composure. So I asked the guy, I said, this is our last day. I said, can I still upgrade my tickets to an annual pass, or do I not get the value of the tickets because we already signed in on the last day? He's like, oh no, you can still use the value towards an annual pass. So I was like, oh, that'd be great. I said, we're DVC members. Can you, check and see how much it would be to upgrade? So he goes through, he's doing all this stuff. And he's like, oh, can I see your DVC? So I show him the thing on the phone. He's looking at it. Okay. He takes all the information. He's like, all right, it'll be $155 per person to upgrade to annual passes. Would you like to do that? I was like, yep. Handed over the credit card.
So what credentials did you have? What were you showing?
I just showed it. Just the Google Wallet had the DVC number, but it didn't have like the Y or N on it because you have to hit something else to get to that. So I was able to find like the actual contract number in the My Disney Experience. He like told me to get to that, and he showed the contract number, and that's what he went off of. So I don't know. So I got the discounted annual pass as well on the last day. Under the buzzer, got that in.
Wow.
That's a no-brainer if you could do that for $150 extra. What do you think about that?
I mean, you still sleep? You sleeping okay?
I sleep fine.
Oh, you sleep okay? I wasn't sure.
I'm sleeping great. You wouldn't take advantage of that deal if you had an opportunity?
I'm just asking you if you're sleeping okay.
So that was basically the last thing we did. So
what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do when you go back next year?
Mm-hmm.
And your bands don't turn green. They say, Mr. Aruda, can you come with us?
I don't think it's already all loaded in there.
They start cracking down on this stuff. Imagine if you got trespassed. You'd be devastated, wouldn't you?
You could trespass you for that.
They trespass people for a lot of dumb things, Pards.
Yeah, it's not like I didn't say, hey, can you give me the discount I'm not supposed to have? I just asked him how much it would be to upgrade my annual pass. Right? I didn't do anything wrong. I said, how much would it cost for me to upgrade this to an annual pass? And he said $155.
What annual pass were you getting? You getting the Florida annual pass? Which annual pass were you getting?
I just said I'm a DVC member. What would it cost to upgrade to the annual pass? I can give you the Pixie Pass for this much. I said, that sounds great. Let's do it. And he did it. I'm completely in the right here. If anyone's going to get trespassed, it's that guy who processed the sale. I gave him a cash compliment, but not about that. I gave it for the fine in the bag.
Yeah, I wouldn't give him a cash compliment about that.
No, I didn't do that.
Bartender gives you 7 free beers. You keep your mouth shut and move
exactly. So that was it. That was the last thing we did. Then we had our car service take us back to MCO, and when we were in the airport,
the guy show up.
Yep, he was there when he was supposed to be, ready to go. So that's it. That's all I got. You have any questions?
Yeah, which resort did you like better?
It's mixed. I like the rooms at Beach Club better, but I like the overall vibe at Wilderness Lodge better.
You know, when you were talking about the rooms, guess what? They're both exactly the same size.
So the layout is just different enough where it feels bigger at Beach Club.
356 square feet for both Beach Club and Boulder Ridge.
I believe it because they do seem like they're close, but I think just the way the bathroom's laid out and some of the other stuff makes the Wilderness Lodge one seem a little smaller in the living area. But I still liked it. I'd probably stay at Beach Club again sooner than Boulder Ridge.
Let me ask you this.
Yes.
Where would you rather have a little 50-pointer?
I'm not gonna answer your question. I would say Copper Creek because it's got a longer expiration date.
Between the two, though.
Well, but Copper Creek's still Wilderness Lodge. So if I was gonna pick one of those resorts, I'd probably pick Copper Creek just to get the longer.
So you're not answering my question, but you jumped
Correct.
all over me when I was saying that you were wrong about Topolino's. Okay.
Correct.
Gotcha.
Again, I'll still say Boulder Ridge because it's cheap. You can get it for cheaper. And although the 11-month window is a lot more important at Beach Club.
Certainly is.
So I'd probably, I don't know. I really don't have a huge desire to have a 2042 resort. I just feel like now we're under 20 years for that. It's not a huge value.
You're going to be 60 and your kids are going to be gone with families.
Yeah, but
20 years is still a long time. 20 years is a long time.
It's only 18 now, Pards. But yeah, no, you're right. And I won't be quite 60 yet either. Let's not push that envelope.
You're gonna be an old senile man. You'll still be doing the podcast, so we'll still be doing this stupid thing.
This is the 30th anniversary of
Absolutely.
All right, good. All right, let's wrap it up here. I don't have anything.
Well, we have a YouTube channel now.
Oh, go for it. Tell us
all of our social media is at DVC Addicts, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube now.
Nice.
We've got some shorts up there. I'm working on some videos, some room reviews to throw out there, and our podcasts are up there.
Awesome. I love it.
And you can also email the show, info@addictedtodvc.com, and join our Facebook group, DVC Addicts.
Perfect.
For my cousin Gary, in co-host in Cranston, Rhode Island, I'm Mike down in Florida. Thanks for listening, and we'll talk again next week.
Thank you for listening to the Addicted to DVC podcast with Mike and Gary. We want to hear from you. Email us at info@addictedtodvc.com and follow us on all socials at DVC Addicts. We appreciate you being a part of our DVC community, and we'll see you again on our next episode. Thanks again for listening, and welcome home.